The Korvenax Imperium's 1,000-ship armada emerged from hyperspace above Earth in perfect geometric formation. Supreme War-Hegemon Thrak'zul had personally arranged each vessel to create maximum psychological impact, a massive claw descending from the void. It had broken 47 civilizations. He activated the planetary broadcast. Primitive world. We are the Korvenax Imperium. Surrender, now or... Yeah, hi, gonna stop you there. A tired human voice cut through his declaration. This is Dave Huffington, Deputy Director of Strategic Readiness Evaluation. You've invaded during our annual audit. Thrak'zul's battle crest flared crimson, all four eyes blinking in asynchronous confusion. You interrupt a declaration of conquest. I'm going to need you to hold position while I file an incident report. Are you armed? Stupid question. Okay, classifying you as unexpected external stressor event, Category 4, subsection B or C. How many troops are you planning to deploy? We will deploy legions. Category C. Got it. Aggressive keyboard typing. Your invasion is now logged as test scenario Delta 47. Stand by. Hold. Music began. Soft jazz. Thrak'zul stared at his communication console. His intelligence officer, Krev, made a small, distressed sound. War-Hegemon. Did he just put us on hold? This must be a negotiation tactic. The music stopped. Thanks for waiting. Quick question. Are you planning planetary bombardment, or more of an occupation scenario? It changes which forms I need. We will reduce your cities to molten slag. Bombardment. Check. And you're claiming the entire planet, not just hemispheric control? The entire world will kneel. Full planetary conquest. Perfect. Okay, your invasion has been officially logged as of 0847 Zulu. However, during audit period, all military responses must follow strict evaluation protocols. Defensive actions will occur at measured intervals to assess readiness benchmarks. Silence. You will defend yourselves. On a schedule? I don't make the rules. The Audit Compliance Board makes the rules. They're very particular. I'm sending you Form 27B to fill out. Preliminary Threat Assessment Questionnaire. Sections 1 through 6. Please return within 30 minutes. Thrak'zul muted the channel. What is an audit? Krev consulted his database. A systematic examination of administrative compliance. They're worried about administration while we darken their skies. Thrak'zul, unmuted. The Korvenax Imperium does not fill out forms. That's fine. I'll just note you're declining voluntary participation. You'll lose points for cooperative engagement, but it's not mandatory for external threats, although species who participate do tend to score higher. Score higher in what? We grade all participants. For quality improvement, don't worry about it. I'm sure you'll do fine. More typing. Current preliminary score, 3.5 out of 10. Your opening was solid. Good volume. Clear existential stakes. But you lost points for the contradiction. What contradiction? You said you'd melt our cities, then said we'd kneel. Can't really kneel if we're molten. Consistency is important for intimidation effectiveness. I'm docking you to a 3.2. Every chromatophore on Thrak'zul's body flashed through colors that had no names. You dare grade the Imperium. It's literally in my job title. Strategic Readiness Evaluation. The evaluation part is key. Huffington paused. Also, you just interrupted me mid-assessment. Communication protocols violation. 3. Now. Officer Krev's sensory stalks wilted. War-Hegemon. We're failing their audit. We're conquering them. Are we though? Thrak'zul slammed his manipulator down. Attack! Show these bureaucrats that the Korvenax do not respect their procedures. 3 Korvenax scout frigates screamed toward Earth's orbital defenses. Klaxons wailed in the Earth Defense Force command center. Admiral Patterson burst through the doors. Response authorization. Are we weapons free? A woman in a business suit stepped in front of his chair. Visitor badge reading Auditor in red letters. Admiral, I'm Senior Audit Specialist Kaminsky. Before engaging hostiles, you need to complete the Threat Response Verification Checklist. The what? Section 3, Paragraph 7 of Audit Protocol. All combat responses require documented authorization. She thrust a tablet at him. 14 pages, initial each section. There are aliens. Advancing. Excellent stress conditions for evaluation. The board will love this. Please, initial here, here, and here. From orbit, Thrak'zul watched human defenses remain dormant. They're paralyzed. Continue, advance. Then, exactly 4 minutes and 32 seconds later, every human defense platform activated simultaneously. The 3 Korvenax scouts were enveloped in electromagnetic nets. Weapons disabled. Propulsion frozen. Hulls intact. Response time 4 minutes. 32 seconds. Kaminsky announced. 2 seconds over benchmark. Admiral, explain the delay. You made me fill out 14 pages, noting administrative overhead as contributing factor. Good data. Thrak'zul's crest shifted to confused lavender. They disabled our ships at exactly minimum response threshold. They're testing their own procedures. Krev whispered, We're not an invasion. We're quality assurance. Huffington's voice returned. War-Hegemon Thrak'zul. I sat through a 15-minute pronunciation tutorial. So I'm saying that right. We need to discuss your performance. Our performance? You're officially a test parameter now. That means you're subject to evaluation criteria. Current score? 2.8? 2.8? It was 3. Your fleet formation keeps shifting. Pick a pattern and maintain it. Psychological impact drops with geometric inconsistency. I recommend reviewing the Vega Council's Altair invasion from 2287. Excellent formation discipline. You're giving us tactical advice? Section 19 requires constructive feedback for all evaluated entities. You're getting the same treatment as our forces. We believe in equality. Pause. Also, your dramatic pauses are inconsistent. Sometimes 3 seconds, sometimes 7. Pick a rhythm. 2.6 now. Krev made a chirping sound of distress. Sir, we're down to 2.6. Stop caring about their arbitrary scoring system, but we were at 3.5. Across the human network, Kaminsky's tablet chirped urgently. She paled. Admiral, critical compliance failure. Captain Morrison engaged without filing preemptive action notice. Commander Park used non-standard terminology. Said, blast those suckers instead of engage hostile targets per protocol for Charlie. You're joking. This could drop us to partial compliance. We could lose our AAA certification from the Interstellar Readiness Board. 8 consecutive years, Admiral. Patterson grabbed a comm line. Morrison. Park. My office after this invasion. Thrak'zul watched the explosion of frantic human activity. They're panicking. Our presence is breaking them. Krev analyzed the intercepts. Sir, they're panicking about Morrison using informal language. They're not thinking about us at all. Every human installation erupted in synchronized activity, not weapons prep, but administrative correction. Ships, stations, installations, simultaneously updating logs, cross-referencing procedures, filing supplemental reports. They care more about paperwork than our invasion. Thrak'zul whispered. Huffington's voice returned with an edge. War-Hegemon. We're implementing emergency corrective action protocol. Meaning? We're neutralizing your fleet in 6 minutes to demonstrate rapid response capability and save our audit score. Remain in position for optimal metrics. You think you can neutralize 1,000 ships? At exactly 0923 Zulu, every human asset activated simultaneously, not scrambling. Executing. Korvenax shields collapsed under microsecond timed weapons fire. Propulsion systems isolated using 3 complementary techniques. Apparently, the audit required demonstrating multiple approaches. Communications jammed at rotating frequencies, each change-logged and timestamped. Through it all, Kaminsky's voice. Response time, 5 minutes 41 seconds. Multi-vector engagement. Successful. Real-time documentation. Complete. We might save our certification. Not one Korvenax ship destroyed. Every single one disabled, catalogued, tagged. Krev's voice was hollow. They weren't trying before. They were just filling out forms. And when they decided to act, Thrak'zul finished. We never stood a chance. Huffington opened a final channel. Audit concluded. Earth's defensive forces exceed expectations. Minor documentation infractions. Final grade, A-. The minus is Morrison and Park's fault. What happens to us? You're being released in 30 minutes. We're uploading an after-action report. You're classified as useful external training entity, approved for future evaluation scenarios. You're just letting us go? Destroying you requires different forms. It's been a long day. Plus, you'll be useful for next year's audit. It's annual. We invaded your world. You provided valuable readiness data during scheduled evaluation. Actually, could you fill out this feedback survey? Really helps us improve. A 17-page form materialized. Oh, and that 2.6 isn't permanent. Show improvement next time. We could bump you to 3.5, maybe 4. The dramatic pauses were genuinely good. Just work on consistency. The channel closed. War-Hegemon, Krev whispered. What now? Thrak'zul stared at the survey. Question 1. Rate Earth's threat assessment, communication clarity, 1 to 10. We retreat. We never speak of this. Should we warn the Confederation? And say what? That we invaded Earth and lost to clipboards? That we're graded on our threatening technique? That we're a useful training entity? His crest flushed humiliated purple. No, we bury this in classified archives and pray no one ever asks. As the fleet limped toward hyperspace 30 minutes later, reactivated exactly on schedule, one final message appeared. Thank you for participating in our annual readiness evaluation. Please consider joining our mailing list for future assessment opportunities. There was an unsubscribe link. Thrak'zul clicked it. The link opened a form. To process unsubscribe request, complete the following and allow 6 to 8 weeks for processing. He closed all 4 eyes. Maximum speed. Now. 3 weeks later, in Geneva, Huffington presented to the Strategic Readiness Board. The Korvenax invasion provided excellent stress test data. We identified documentation weaknesses addressed through mandatory retraining. Overall, highly successful audit year. And the aliens? Director Hammond asked. Demoralized. They're revising their expansion strategy. Something about never invading during tax season. On any planet. They think this was tax season? Their translators conflated audit with mandatory financial confession ritual. I didn't correct them. Admiral Patterson spoke up. We turned an alien invasion into a bureaucratic procedure. Huffington shrugged. They showed up during the 1 week when compliance trumps efficiency. It proves our procedures work under unexpected stress. We traumatized them with paperwork. We traumatized Morrison and Park with paperwork too. Equal opportunity trauma. Huffington closed his laptop. The Korvenax gave us 4.2 out of 5 on the feedback survey, cited our systematic approach to conflict as terrifyingly professional, going in next year's report. Hammond smiled. So the Korvenax planned a war. We planned a checklist, Huffington finished. The checklist won. Should we worry that our bureaucracy is more effective than our weapons? Sir, have you ever gotten a travel expense report approved through 5 departments? God, yes. Nightmare. Now imagine that procedural rigor applied to orbital defense platforms. Huffington stood. The aliens never stood a chance. The invasion failed not because humanity was ready for war, but because it was ready for inspection. And that was so much worse.